All right, cool. All right, guys, I'm so excited. I'm so glad you guys made it this morning. I know it's so hard to do this in the morning, but I know some people can't do it at night. So this is the other option. Waking up a little bit earlier to jump on here. But I think it's actually a good way to start your day. For me, at least it is. It always pumps me up for my day. So before I jump into today's topic, today's going to be jumping into motivation, which is a hot topic, a topic that a lot of people always ask me about. I wanted to ask you guys how week one has gone for you. What have you succeeded in? What's a takeaway you've had in the last week? Whatever you want to share that you've been able to learn about yourself in this last week, you guys can share.
Well, I'll start first, Jamira. I started doing the little bubbles with the little tasks and all that. I haven't really gone to do all of them yet, but I feel like the one I did the health one first and my 3 tasks were to drink more water, add more veggies, and exercise. And 2 out of the 3 have been like successful. The exercise,
that's good.
But I'm exercising like maybe twice a week because I did it like twice last week and then I did it yesterday. So I just have to get with the program, keep going a little bit more. But
you're doing the 4, right? So it's only 4 days.
Yeah.
So you still have time to make up that time, which is nice.
Yesterday was my day off, but I can do it tomorrow, and I'm like,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I am gonna tweak it a little bit. Exactly. Instead of doing like it on Monday, maybe do Tuesday, Wednesday, drop Thursday, like
exactly.
And then do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to rest again, and Sunday, Monday to rest. I think that's the way I want to do it.
Nice.
But I'm still like a day short anyway. But I think the writing it down does help, and I'm going to be working on my next little bubble and the 3 things that I want to do for that.
Awesome. That's awesome. And I had one of the girls the other night. So the same thing about she has to make the days different. It can't be the Monday or Tuesday. And so, yeah, it doesn't matter what days it works for you. It's just based on your schedule. That's why I like it's 4 days because it's very flexible. And honestly, I think this is going to be one of the programs that most people are going to be the most consistent with because it's only 4 days. And you can just play around with the schedule. Even week by week, it doesn't have to be the same exact days every single week, as long as you're getting those 4 workouts in during the week. So that's awesome. Anyone else want to share?
Well, I tried. And like Allison, not the water. I need to drink more water. But I hate going to the bathroom, public bathroom. So that's what holds me, down. But I am eating more fruits. Veggies, I do have to eat a little bit more. And I managed to exercise twice.
Nice.
Not much, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't make it to Thursday's meeting. No. When was it? Tuesday. No, Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday. Because I had to do a paper for school for Wednesday. So one of the reasons I did it this morning was because I wanted to get motivated to get up earlier because I'm very lazy in the morning. So I'm like, no, I have to do it. And if I have something scheduled, I'll be there. So I got up extra early. I got up at 5:30 and I rushed the dogs out and I made breakfast. And I'm like,
high five.
Yeah, thank you. Running around in the morning. So, and I'm like, well, it feels good because I thought about it and I'm like, well, maybe I should just tell her that I can't make it. I'm like, no, you got to push yourself.
Yes.
So, and I was talking to my son was here the other day. One of the things I wanted to do was incorporate like the parenthood. My kids are older, but just set up some time to like spend with them individual. I don't know, like maybe taking them out to eat or just have a one-on-one, like set up some time or some schedule. And you mentioned something last week. My boyfriend just left, so that's why I can say it. And you were talking about how you wouldn't open up to your husband, like when you wanted to talk to him about something. So that's one of my goals this week, to talk about a few things, which I don't know why. It's hard for me to just open up.
Same here, girl. And I'll open up to you guys today. And I'm going to share this right off the bat that these mastermind calls, like I'm going to be sharing things with you guys that I don't share on Facebook, that I don't share with no one, but I'm going to share those things because I want to help you guys get through your own barriers. And so I might share something that might actually help you with regards to that. But I am by far perfect. It's crazy that I am teaching these weekly video calls, but I'm as much of a student as you guys are. I'm in the trenches with you. I am struggling with my workouts. I'm struggling with my nutrition. I'm struggling with my marriage still sometimes. And so, this is a lifetime, progress, lifetime battle that we have to go through. But the whole idea is that we're constantly trying to improve ourselves. And so we won't reach perfection. But the goal is to help you to stay motivated through this journey. So that's what I'm so excited to jump into today. I appreciate you guys opening up this morning on those topics and what has worked for you in this last week. And I hope that you guys can build onto that in the next week. And so let's talk about motivation and why is this such a hot topic for so many people? Well, I believe that motivation breeds consistency, and consistency breeds motivation. So most people, the reason why they're not consistent is because they say they lack motivation, but usually it's the other way around that we don't spend time on, which is trying to be consistent so that we can build that motivation. And so I think this is such a really important topic, not because I want you guys to get motivated to work out, but I want you guys to start realizing that consistency is the breeding ground to ultimate freedom. And what I mean by that is consistency, not just in your health routines, but in other areas of your life, creates the greatest freedom you're seeking. So consistency in your finances, right? Imagine the freedom you can develop by becoming debt-free and manage your money and having all these opportunities because you're consistent in managing your money, right? Same idea with your marriage. Imagine if you had consistency in communication and improving that, the freedom you have. So consistency ultimately, guys, and I want you guys to notice this theme I'm going to throw at you guys on a weekly basis, that there's a greater vision for these goals you're trying to write down, right? And for me, and when it comes to motivation, what I want you to develop is greater freedom. And motivation, if you tie those two things together, I hope that in your mind you're like, oh shoot, motivation is actually fun. Like I actually want to get motivated, because if I don't, I won't have freedom. And so we end up being, because we lack motivation, therefore consistency, we end up becoming prisoners to our own body. We become prisoners to our debt. We become prisoners to a crappy marriage. We become prisoner to all these areas in our life that could be opportunities for us to grow and become better versions of ourselves, yet we don't take the time to figure out how can we become consistent. So I'm going to talk to you guys about that and give you guys simple tools that you can start developing now to become more motivated. So I wanted to start with one of my stories. And like I mentioned, I'm going to be sharing pieces of my story that I don't share anywhere else in hopes to inspire you. So that you can gossip and tell people my life, but honestly, so that you can take this and be like, okay, I can do this. Because if I can get through my huge battles that I've been through, and like I said, I haven't even shared like half of them. And you think I share my life a lot, and I don't. I'm very selective, and usually when I do share things, it's because I've conquered it or I'm almost conquering it, if that makes sense. And so I wanted to give you guys an example of what motivation can do for you when you set it up the right way for yourself. So I wanted to talk about my finances for a second here, because I know most of the time we focus on the health and all this other stuff, but one of my goals for you guys, my purpose for my organization, our Best Year Ever project, and everything that I'm doing this year is help people with their health, their finances, and their relationships. Those are my 3 passions. And I told you guys find your 3 passions, right? Those are my 3 passions, because those are 3 areas of my life that I struggle with. And I want to help women to not struggle with those areas in their life. So one of my big areas was finances. I was not the most motivated or consistent person with finances. What I mean by that is I was very reckless. Through high school, my father would get me out of the craziest situations I would get myself into with credit cards, which is sad. In college, it didn't get any better. If anything, I accumulated 10 times more debt during college because I utilized my student loans to live off rather than be more, vigilant and work and do that. No, I survived on my student loans. And then it didn't get any better when I got married, right? And so I accumulated all these financial, debt. And and when I looked at my debt, if anything, I didn't get motivated. If anything, I froze because I would see this huge number and I would be like, oh, heck no, I can't bring this down. Like, this is never going to be this is never going to happen. Right. And I would lose my motivation of trying to pay that off. And so I had to figure out a reason why I wanted to pay off my debt. It wasn't to get rid of that $60,000 debt that I had accumulated, that big number. And I want you to think about this, comparing this to something that you personally have, right? Let's say you have to lose 50 pounds, right? That number is not motivating. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, like when I had to lose 50 pounds, looking at that number on the scale every morning or every week was not motivating. So if you're holding on to a motivation of, I want to lose 50 pounds, let me tell you, that's not going to motivate you. Looking at my debt, that was not going to motivate me. So I had to figure out a deeper reason why I wanted to get out of debt. And so I had to look deep within myself and figure out, okay, Natalie, why does this really matter to me? Not because I want to see zeros on that number, but because what does that mean to me if I am debt free? And so I decided that for me, financial freedom meant that I wouldn't have to work my 12, 13-hour shifts anymore. Financial freedom for me meant that I didn't have to work holidays and weekends. It meant that I didn't have to spend time away from my kids. I can actually travel. I can see the world. I can serve even more because I love serving. And if you don't have money, you can't really serve, right? You're a prisoner to that debt. And so I wrote down these bigger motivations, like, this is why I want to get out of debt. And so I had to face it head on. And so here's the thing, when sometimes we try to avoid our problems or we get so discouraged because the number is so big, rather than figure out steps to get there, we just focus on the big number. And so I want you guys to realize that your motivation comes from baby steps. It comes from taking one step at a time. And for me, that's what it was. And so I had to take a financial course. I had to work with my husband. I had to put the elephant on the table and say, here's our problem. Here's how we're going to face it head on. And we're going to do this together and talk about why we want this, like talk about our dreams, what we want to achieve when we're debt free and all these things. And so for me, I created a bigger reason. It wasn't about the number anymore. It was because of the freedom I wanted to seek. And so my consistency came in, my motivation came in with that greater reason. So I want you guys to think about that as I jump into the different steps of how to get more motivated. So my goal this morning is to help you guys to think and set up daily habits. Again, we're talking about daily habits. To be proactive, okay? And I'm talking about motivation here. Be proactive, create mental stamina, because one of the reasons why we tend to give up is because we have no mental stamina. we lose our steam, and it's not physical stamina, it's mental stamina. And we'll talk about how to do that. You have to condition yourself, and we'll talk about how you're going to condition yourself. Yes, we're going to talk about meditating. We're going to be talking about sleep. We're going to be talking about nutrition. We're going to be talking about physical health, physical physiology. Because if you don't have those things, let me tell you, one of the biggest reasons people lack motivation And what I hear often is, I'm tired, right? How many times have you guys told yourself that? Like, I'm just so tired. Well, usually it's because we haven't conditioned our body. We're sleeping late and we're waking up late. And so we're not conditioning ourselves for the best environment to get motivated. So I'm going to talk about sleep, because sleep is super important. And that's something that I learned, you know, with 3 kids and having a newborn at the time. When I started doing these habits, it was when I was sleeping maybe 2 to 3 hours a night. And I was like, I need more sleep, because this is why I suck at what I'm trying to figure out, you know, achieve in my life. I just wasn't getting any sleep. So let's jump right into our steps. And I'm going to give you 3 simple steps. I'm going to break these steps down a little bit so that you guys can start figuring out what will work for you. So get your pens and paper out if you don't have them out already. And then we could talk about the steps. So number 1, you have to be proactive and prepare your mind and body for the day. So how can you master your body? And this is something that's it honestly is simple enough, and you already know this, and this is something that I preach every single day. The reason why I lead with health and fitness is because workouts are a way for you to master your body and your mind. Your body and your mind are connected. And so if you're not conditioning your body, and this is another reason why I put on why to work out. Yes, losing weight is amazing, but the reason why I need to work out is to actually get motivated. People say, I have to be motivated to work out. No, you don't. If anything, you need to find a reason why you need to work out so that you can then get motivated. And so for me, to be being proactive means I am working my body, because when I'm working my body, I have the energy, I have the stamina, and I have the endurance to keep going. So think about your workouts as another way for you to actually get motivated to work towards your goals, not just your health goals, but other goals in your life. Morning rituals. How can you be proactive with morning rituals? This is an area of my life that I made a huge shift on, because I am not a morning person. And some days that I'm like, damn, I'm still not a morning person. And I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. And, but this is where you have to kind of get disciplined, because the mornings I call, Brendan Bouchard, who was one of my trainers and who I've thankfully gotten to know this year. He talks about this golden hour. And the golden hour he talks about is in your morning. And this hour in your morning, and it doesn't have to be a golden hour right off the bat. It can be your golden 30. It can be a golden 15, right? Baby steps. But the golden hour can become your ground, your foundation to kill it in your goals. Because during your morning rituals, during your golden hour, this is when you lock in your mindset. Right? You lock in your mindset. This is how this is where you prepare yourself. This is like you're the football player who's in the little passageway right before he jumps into the field. That's your golden hour right there. That's where you prepare your mind. If you miss out on the golden hour, it's like you're going out there to go play the game with no preparation, and you expect yourself to succeed, but you have done no type of preparation. So the golden hour is time for you to prep mentally. So here's what you can do to prep yourself mentally. And these are questions that I ask myself in the morning. Okay. What can I be enthusiastic about today? Right. So many times sometimes we wake up in the morning like, oh, this day's going to suck. Right. What a crappy way to start your day. What a crappy negative way to start your day, to set yourself up for failure. Because you know what? You're going to have a crappy day because you just told yourself you're going to have a crappy day. Right. So turn that around and ask yourself, what can I be excited about today? I don't care if it's the same mundane routine that you have every single day, but the problem is that most people keep living that mundane life and just check in or clock in, clock out. And so they live this robot life and have nothing to look forward to. They don't develop things to look forward to in the day. So create something that you can be excited about. If it's the same thing every single day, create something you can be excited about. Maybe create a routine after work, or create Maybe do something at work where you're excited to bring to your day. The second question I always ask myself, what am I grateful for? This is a great question to ask when you're stuck in traffic. Because that's what most people like, you know, feel miserable during the day, right? I'm going to be grateful. I'm grateful I don't have to be driving to traffic anymore. I used to have to drive into traffic. That's a really hard mindset to master. Yeah. And I'm going to be real with you. It's a hard mindset to master, but you practice it over and over and over again. Trust me, it's going to get better, and you're going to be grateful while you're sitting in traffic. What am I committed to making happen no matter what today? You know, sometimes we write all these amazing goals, but then we don't write down what we're actually committing to achieve. So I don't care what your boss throws at you, what your kids throw at you, what your husband throws at you. You made that commitment. You're gonna make that happen. So when it comes to your workouts, and you write that down in the morning, okay, I am committed to getting my workout done today. So you know what? Things are gonna happen, and you're gonna remember in the morning, oh shoot, I said I was gonna work out today. I have to work out today. And then the last question that I tend to ask myself is, how do I want to show up for blank? So for me, is how do I want to show up for the woman today? How do I want to show up for my husband? How do I want to show up for my kids? This is a really, really hard question to master, but it can change everything. Because now, not only are you writing these goals down, you're like, I'm going to achieve them, but now you're actually changing the way you are and the way that you're showing up for people. How do I want to show up for my workout? Do I want to be miserable during my workout? Do I want to show up excited? So ask yourself that and write it down. Don't just ask yourself these and like mentally, like write it down. This is perfect journaling time. This is the golden hour. This is how you prepare yourself. And let me tell you, you writing it down, you envisioning yourself, going back to last week's topic of clarity and your goals and looking at them on a daily basis. You ask yourself these questions while you're looking at your goals, man, you're going to be on fire. You're going to be on fire on a daily basis. This is what changed my life. This is what changed my motivation. This is how I've developed myself on a daily basis. So no matter how crappy of a week I've been having, you know, how did I get by last week with the amazing, like, dreadful things that happened to us, with, you know, our 2 deaths and everything that was happening in the last 2 weeks, is honestly like, I went back to my mental game. I went back to my mental questions. I went back to these questions. And I was able to still show up because I knew I wanted to be determined, alive, joyful. That's why I asked you guys, what are those 3 words you want to be? That's why I asked you that last week, right? Those are the 3 words I want to be every single day. And so I try to show up like that every single day. And then the third piece of being proactive, and we're still under proactive, create mental stamina. So this is an area that I'm going to focus on, and the next 2 things that I'm going to focus on a lot on next week. So next week's topic is going to be talking about mental stamina. But I wanted to mention, you know, on improving your daily breaks. So many of us are, and I feel you because I'm like that too. We're hustlers, right? We work, and we don't think we need breaks. And then like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon hits and we crash. And then we have no energy to do anything. We're cranky. We don't want to clean. We definitely don't want to work out. And, you know, and so we burn ourselves out. And so if you want to be able to still have energy by the end of the afternoon, where most people are crashing and I'm going to be real with you. I crash sometimes still to this day because I haven't mastered this piece right here. You master this, man, you're going to have like 18 hours of energy. And we'll talk more about how to develop that next week. So, but you want to create that mental stamina through creating daily breaks. So the next piece, right, after being proactive, it falls right into creating, generating energy. And that's what we're going to talk. We're going to really dig deeper into that next week. But I wanted to say this to you guys about in regards to energy. That many times we think that a power plant gets energy, but it actually generates energy. So I want you to start thinking about yourself as the power plant. You don't get energy from people. You don't get energy from something. You have to generate that energy. You are on the driver's seat. So you decide how much energy you want to generate today. You want to be dragging during the day. That's your choice. I see people like dragging throughout the day, and in my mind now, I know because I've developed this habit. I'm like, oh, that's their choice. It's a choice. It's a choice to not have energy, because there are so many ways, daily habits that you can create to improve that, increase that. And I'm going to get to share some pretty cool stuff next week on how to do that. And then the last piece, there's the part where I'm going to spend the most time on digging into for you guys, because this is where, if you guys do this, you guys will be able to increase your motivation. So the last piece of increasing your motivation is raising necessity. And here's where you have to figure out what it is going to be that's going to push you. I'm going to break it down on raising necessity. There's 3 things that you need to do in order to raise your necessity. The first one is asking yourself on a daily basis, who needs you on your A game? I'm going to read a quote to you guys, and then I'll break this down for you. It says, we change and improve over time only when we must. When the internal and external forces on us are strong enough, we make it happen. We climb, and when it gets most difficult, we remember our cause. When we are afraid and battling hardship and darkness, we remember we came in the cause of light, and we sustain positive performance over the long term. It's remembering. It's focusing on our cause. So when I think about being on your A game, that's your cause. Who needs you on your A game? I know for me, my kids needed me on my A game. Like if I wasn't on my A game, they would suffer. They would see it. They would sustain that negative energy I was running around with. So you have to ask yourself every single morning and write it down. Write it down and say, why does that person need me on my A game? Why do that group of people need me on my A game? And you're going to show up so much differently every single day for those people. Now you're going to be like, I really need to work out because I need to be on my A game for these people. I need to make a difference. I need to create this momentum in my life for them. And it's a quick gut check every single day when you ask yourself this. You have to ask yourself, what is my A game? What is that going to look like? Have I been bringing it today? This is going to be a good trigger to have throughout your day. Maybe when you sit at your office on your chair, boom, that's your trigger. Who needs me on my A game right now? Then you walk through your door in your house. Who needs me on my A game right now? And so each trigger throughout your day, you have to ask yourself this question. Maybe you put it on your phone. Maybe certain time frames in your day when it's broken up. Maybe you put that alarm, and then you see a little alarm on your phone that says, who needs me on my A game? And you kind of remember, and then you stop and you pause and you answer that question to yourself. And then you have to ask yourself, what would my A game look like in the next hour? Let me tell you, this question alone got me so focused, because I used to be so sporadic in my action throughout the day. I used to be very ADD. Like I used to be like, squirrel, and get distracted by any little thing. And then when I realized, like, okay, who needs me on my A game right now for the next hour? I would sit down. I wouldn't scroll Facebook. I wouldn't do those distracting actions, and I would be able to focus. That's motivation for me. Like that creates motivation, because now I know I need to focus for the next hour. Okay. The second piece, and this is going back to last week's, you have to affirm your why. Okay. And I didn't say you have to read your why. You have to say your why. You have to affirm your why. What does affirm mean? It means to declare your why. Why did you write those goals down? And what do they mean to you? Okay. So to affirm for me, again, is to declare or strongly assert something as valid or confirmed. So for me, when I write my goals or when I write what I want to achieve, I don't just write, well, I kind of want to lose 50 pounds. I want to pay off my debt. And, you know, I really want my marriage to improve. Like, that's not motivating, right? For me, I create I am words. And so I create my I am words, and my I am words are I state them as if I have achieved them already. So mine are right above my computer, like I shared with you guys. And I have on here, I am intelligent, I am resourceful, I am energetic, I am living an abundant life, I am successful, I am influential, I am leading a team that is making a difference. You see the difference where I am, like, I say those words and I'm like, holy crap, that is amazing. I am achieving amazing things, right? Because I am. You have to tell yourself, I'm already achieving that. It's not, I'm going to achieve it, or that would be nice to achieve it. I am achieving it. Rather than write, I'm losing 50 pounds, you know, I want to lose 50 pounds. I am the healthiest I have ever been in my whole life. That can resonate. That can create greatness in you, and that in your life on a daily basis. So you want to declare that. You want to write your goals as the I am words. And that's why I have my phone. That's why I have it on my phone like that too. My affirmations. That's what they call affirmations, right? You affirm your why. Essentially, that's what that is. Affirmations are affirming your whys. The last piece of motivation. And here's and this is, I'm going to be including a challenge with this one. It's going to be fun for the next week. And you have to tell yourself it's going to be fun, because if you come in with this a little bit like hesitant, it's not going to work. All right. So the last piece, and this is where my life has changed. This is why my motivation is on 10x level, and why people are like, why are you so freaking wired up at 6 a.m? Is because I got to be here with you guys, right? But the last piece is leveling up your squad. You have to surround yourself with the right people, the right positive people, the people that are inspiring you to be greater, right? Having those people next to you that are telling you, oh, just have the donut, oh, have the chocolate. They're not the people you want to be around. You want to be around the people that are pushing you, that are encouraging you, that are telling you, hey, you can do better than that. And I want to read you guys a couple quotes here. It says, find a group of people who challenge and inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life. Amy Poehler said that. And I can affirm that that's been the case in my life. I've been doing these videos, not as a speaker, but I have participated on weekly video chats for the last 4 years. That's consistency. That has changed my life, because I have surrounded myself. Sure, I can have crappy friends and family who are super negative, but every single week I jumped on these video calls and I became a student, and I was like, I was hungry for a better life. And so I surrounded myself with the right-minded people. And I will continue to do these for the rest of my life, because it has changed my life. And I wanted to bring that into other people's lives, because I know if it changed mine, I know it could change way more people's lives, especially women's lives. The next quote that I found in Brendan Bouchard's book, it says, researchers have made fascinating discoveries about a phenomenon called clustering. They found that behaviors, attitudes, and health outcomes tend to form in social clusters. The people around you even affect how much you sleep, the food that you eat, and how much money you spend or save. So there is so much power in those you surround yourself with. I have seen it in the negative side, and I've seen it in the positive side. And for me, I had to make a huge shift. I loved my family. I loved my siblings. I loved my friends, but they weren't at where I wanted to be. And so I started to surround myself by the millionaires, legit, like millionaires. I started to surround myself with the healthiest people I have ever met. I started to surround myself, and guess what? People around you will either be attracted to that and they will come into your life, and you will influence them to change their health and their finances and other areas, or you will repel them. And if you repel those people, great. That means they should not be in your life. Because if they can't take the challenge, if they can't take you trying to improve your life, they weren't the right people for you. So don't be afraid to level up. Don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to share your goals, because if people are repelled by that, they're not the right people. But the ones that are attracted to that, the ones that are like, oh shoot, I want to be part of this movement, those are your people. Get them into your herd, because those are the ones that are going to get you to where you need to get to. And here's the challenge for you guys. And here's why I'm giving you guys this challenge, because again, this has changed my life. I'm calling it my Level Up Your Squad Challenge. And I want you guys in the next week, and I'm going to share with you guys in Messenger. I was waiting till today to share this in Messenger so that you guys can get hear this whole spiel first. Is I want you to invite 5 to 10 women into this next test group I'm starting. But I don't want you to just invite them. I want you to share why you decided to participate in this test group. What pushed you? Why are you here? And I want you to share that with them. And with that story, it doesn't have to be long. It can be a short answer. But in that story, I want you to, and I'm trying to help you here to that. Again, I know this is not easy to do. Again, this is why I'm calling it a challenge. I want you to share one of the 2 videos I posted last week, the one with my blue sweater or the one with my gray sweater. And I want you to share your story and say, hey, I want you to join me in this test group that Natalie's doing. And you can share that video. Because that's gonna really talk to people's soul, the ones that really do want to shift their life. I poured my heart out in those videos because I want to move women to think differently. And so you share your story, you share that video to 5 to 10 women, you get 3 women to join you, say, yes, I want to do this with you. I am creating a spa day for my ladies in the next 2 weeks, in the next month, for you guys that can get 3 ladies to join you on this journey. And the goal for this, guys, is to level up your squad. Because the ones that you're surrounding yourself with, if they can join you, if they can be part of this, your motivation, 10 times even higher. And that's why, guys, I've been motivated for 4 years. There's no magic to this. It's because I surrounded myself and I started to invite people to do this with me. And when I started seeing people doing this with me, I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta be on my A game, going back to my A game. So that you get to talk to like these people and you're like, oh shoot, my friend needs me on my A game now because now she's joining me. Now I have to be on point with my goals. Let me tell you, your success rate is going to increase. Your weight loss is going to increase. Your financial goals are going to increase. Your relationship goals are going to increase. It's incredible, the movement and the progress you make. Because again, you're going back to sharing those goals. All right, let's finish up with your do's and don'ts for the next week. So every day, and this is your choice. You choose golden 15, you go golden 30, golden hour. Okay. Every day you're going to start your morning ritual. Okay. And ask yourself that morning those questions I shared with you guys. When you get to your job, ask yourself those questions again. You can put it in a sticky notes. You can put it somewhere where it's easy for you to access those questions. Probably your phone is the best way to do it so you don't lose it. But you want to access those questions through each phase of your day. So in the morning, when you're getting the kids ready for school, that's usually my morning routine. When you're going into work, when you're on the way home, when you get home. So these are daily reminders, guys. Trust me, that's going to increase your motivation. It's not just one time a week. It's not just one time a day. It's throughout your day. You want to affirm and declare those goals. Going back to, you're looking at these goals every single day, but now you're going to affirm your goals. You're not just going to say, oh, I hope I achieve this. You're going to affirm it. You're going to declare it. And speak about those goals daily. And the last piece, you want to level up your squad. Next 7 days, you're going to look to 5 to 10 women who can level up. You can level up your squad with. Okay. And you don't want to fall into your negative mindset. Okay. And let me tell you, this is super hard. I know how hard it is because I still struggle with this. I struggled with this yesterday. And so I want you to be proactive. What did I do when I was getting in my negative mindset? When I was so pissed. And I'm going back to Jamita's comment this earlier of communicating with your husband. I still struggle so bad that I had to go take a walk last night because I struggle with this. I struggle with speaking up. I struggle with sharing like what is frustrating me. And so I had to go take a walk because I hate confrontation. I hate yelling. I hate screaming. I hate arguments. And so I was trying to avoid it with all my life. I had to get out of the house. Went on a 2-mile walk in the pitch dark because I just knew if I said something at the wrong time, it would have blown up into something worse. And so this is a lifelong struggle. This is a lifelong progress trying to improve. But guess what? I finally last night, because my husband knows when I walk out the house, something's up. And thankfully, over the last 3 years, that's a sign for him to open up to me. And I don't know, like that works for us for some reason. Like he sees I'm pissed and later on he's like, all right, what's going on? And that's what I need him to do is I need him to open up to me so that I can then spill it out. And it's crazy. I'm still trying to improve that. I'm trying to improve where I can speak up first. But I finally spoke to him about it by the time we went to bed. And so, but again, you know, we kind of fall back into that negative mindset. And so my trigger was going taking a walk, right? If you're stuck in traffic, figure something out that can shift your mindset. Whatever it is, if there's an argument at work or something that's negative, figure out something that can trigger. Maybe you have to walk through the hallway for a second, or something to clear your mind and get your thoughts settled. And that walk for me, that trigger, that action, it helped me to clear my thoughts and figure out, okay, why am I angry? What is my actual problem right now? Because I had so many like emotions going through my body, and I couldn't pinpoint what it was that I was frustrated about. And then finally that walk, I was praying hard. I'm like, God, please help me figure out what is all these emotions going on through my body right now. And I got the answer was communication. That's that one word. I was like, you're frustrated, Natalie, because there's no communication here. And isn't it crazy that majority of marriages, the reason why they struggle is because of communication. And so finally I was able to verbalize my frustration with my husband. We lack more communication. And that's something you have to work towards always. You fall off the wagon. Same thing as your workouts. You fall off the wagon, but you have to kind of go back to it, get over and over again. All right. So let me finish guys up with this. I wanted to share this video. Pretty much everything we just talked about, this covers. And I hope that this inspires you to figure, and I'm going to share something real quick at the end of this video. So let me share the screen real quick. And there's not much words. It's mostly music, but it's, this is a very popular movie that talks about a true story. So you guys will all recognize it. So.
That's my money. I want somebody just going to just take my money.
Hey, listen, I need the rent. I can't wait anymore.
I gotta have some more time. I got my son up in here.
Where are we going? Dad, where are we going?
I don't know. happy anymore. I'm just not happy. Then go get happy, Linda. Just go get happy. Tomorrow's going to be your first day. If you'd like to work here as a broker. Would you like that, Chris? Yes, sir. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
All right, guys. I always get goosebumps watching that because it reminds me of these 3 points that I just shared with you guys. That first one, which is be proactive. Chris Gardner was proactive. He was in the crappiest situation ever, but he was on point with pushing for those greater goals and doing what he needed to do in order to achieve them. He raised necessity. What was his necessity? He needed to be on his A game for his son. He's the only one that he was fighting for. He found his reason. He found his greater purpose. And he leveled up his squad. He surrounded himself by millionaires and billionaires of stockbrokers. And that's who he's surrounded by. He's like, I want to be that. That's what I want to achieve. And what did he do? He's surrounded by himself by those people. So whether he was homeless and going through all this crap, he still was able to achieve his goals because essentially that's what he ended up doing. So put yourself in his shoes. You got to level up. You got to increase your A game. You got to increase your necessity. And you got to prepare yourself on a daily basis. This guy stayed up late, woke up early, studying because he was hungry for more. He knew he deserved more. He needed to do it for his son. He wanted stability for his family. So what do you want? What do you want to achieve and why? Use this story. Use his example, his true story for your life. Let me tell you guys, I'm going to leave this call with this thought is that sometimes we complain about our situations. We complain about our debt. We complain about our health. We complain about our marriage. But let me tell you guys something, that our trials and burdens are gifts. For me, my burdens and those trials that I went through were gifts from God. It was that nudge that I needed, like, hey, Natalie, this is your moment. This is your sign. You need to shift or are you going to hit rock bottom? And let me tell you that around the same time that I was hitting rock bottom, my brother was hit literally rock bottom. The difference, my brother is still rock bottom 4 years later, and I'm not, was the difference in this right here. You don't prepare yourself. You don't increase your mental stamina. You don't increase your physical stamina. You don't ask yourself these questions. You're not intentional with your days. Then you're gonna be in the same spot 3 years, 4 years later. And so for me, I was like, heck no, I don't want to be in this situation 4 years later. I see my brother now, and it's sad to see this. He could have been proactive. Now he's headed to divorce, homeless. You want to talk about rock bottom? I thought he hit rock bottom 4 years ago. He's hitting rock bottom now. And so you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth that fight? Is it worth you sacrificing your mornings? Is it worth you going to bed early? I sacrificed TV. I sacrificed my weekends. I sacrificed so many things because I wanted a better life for my family, my kids. I wanted to be with them so badly. And so I decided, like, even if I'm not experiencing coaching and I don't know what the heck I'm doing, I'm going to figure this thing out because I have a greater reason to do this. It wasn't just about weight loss anymore. So find that for you. Find that fire for yourself. And let me tell you, you're going to get motivated. You're going to get fired up every single morning to do what's required of you to shift your health, your finances, and your relationships. All right, I'm going to open it up, guys. We have a couple more minutes. I went over a little bit. I'm going to open it up if you guys have any questions or comments that you guys wanted to share, and then we'll finish up.
Natalie, when is the sneak peek starting? Is that today? Is it a challenge group that you were talking about earlier where you wanted us to invite?
So it'll be this same test group that we're doing right now. I'm gonna relaunch it in a week and a half.
So it's for people that have already signed up?
Nope. It's for new people. So if for any of your friends and family that want to be part of this test group that we're pretty much you guys are part of right now. So you guys have your health routines, you have your nutrition, and they're gonna also get the weekly masterminds. But I'm gonna start with them on week 1. So I don't have a sneak peek for this, but I have my email that I sent you guys, and so that kind of explains everything. So if there are people that are interested, you let me know. I'm gonna help you with you guys. So if you invite people and they're interested in this test group, I will. We can work together. I'll give them the details. I'll help you get them set up. You'll get credit, guys. You'll get your Shakeology for free for the next month, and also you're leveling up your squad. So I will help you with this. So if, the main part you need to do is that messaging and sharing that video. And if you get people that are interested, great. Sending me a message, and then we can kind of like work from there.
Which one is the video that you wanted us to?
So the live video, there's 2 live videos. The one that I said last week was my gray sweater, and the week before that, which was like Wednesday and Thursday, was my blue sweater. So I'm gonna share that in my message thread, so that you can just copy the link and then share it. And then I want you to share your story, your personal reason why you decided to do your test group, because they're your friends and your family, so they want to hear your reason too. They don't know me, so I don't want you to be like just sharing this random video with some random stranger, and they're like, "What the heck is this?"
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what that's gonna entail. Any other questions? Clarifications? I know I may have left you guys speechless this morning.
Hey, Natalie, how do we access the answers we've submitted?
So I'll resend it to you, because what you guys want to do is when you answer those worksheets, it's to print it. But I can resend it to you. I wonder if I can send the one with the responses on it. I'll double check. If not, yeah, let me figure that out, how to resend the ones that you already responded with.
Yeah, I figured there'd be like some database, and I wrote a bunch of stuff, but I can't remember a lot of it.
That's okay. I will figure out how to email those responses to you. I think there should be a way, because it's Google Docs that I use. So I'll figure out a way to resend it. And then for the following weeks, just print it out. probably the best way for you to keep your responses and also look at them each week. Because that's what I did for when I went through my own coaching sessions, I printed out all my responses, and I still look at it to this day. And it just reminds me of why I'm doing whatever and all that. So yeah, you definitely want to keep those.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, awesome. All right, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Next week is going to probably be Monday or Tuesday because I am traveling again to Arizona next week. So I will give you guys those emails with those details. It's probably going to be Monday morning and Tuesday night. So just a heads up for that. So just start thinking about which day you're going to be able to show up for. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what you guys achieve this next week and how your consistency and motivation goes up. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys next week.